What do you guys think men's part is in this entire equation? Like, what do men contribute to this shit?
What do men
In regards
contribute
to Barbie monologue?
How is this?
to which
How is
conflicting
this?
situation?
How can men take responsibility for this behavior?
For women being frustrated that they have to keep up.
Yeah, a lot of the aggravation, a lot of like a lot of complaints that they have. Because, I mean, it's my view. I mean, if you take a look around, a lot of men, they're not strong, masculine, and virtuous. They
Yeah.
don't form a strong tribe. The way of men is the way of the gang, sort of thing. Like, strong men always form a gang and they hold each other accountable. They do important things. They're competent. They're skilled. They have combat skills. They know how to make money. They can solve problems. They're masculine. They don't put up with bullshit. They don't deal with mind manipulation. There's a lot of weak men out there too, right? So I think,
Yeah.
if you're gonna point at women and blame women for a lot of this, then I think that there's something to be said about the state of men today too. Yeah.
Yes, but also I kind of think that the way that men can be responsible or take responsibility for this type of reaction is by avoiding women that complain.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is that doesn't really solve anything because there's enough people that they're willing to give an audience to any victim mindset all the time, whether it's men or women. I think anybody out there that wants to play the victim card, there's always some part of the world that is it's plentiful, like it's everywhere, right? The government, the media, somebody will give them an audience to be like, yeah, you're right, you're a victim, it's so unfair, blah blah blah, let's go and blame the patriarchy or something, or whatever it happens to be at that time.
You've beaten this subject to death. I mean, you know what the reply to that is. You know what the answer is. Men being better men, being more masculine in a way that contributes the world and contributes women as well.
I think if more men were better leaders and talked more about reality, the red pill stuff, things could go a lot better. I think that's maybe men's part. Everyone kind of goes along with the blue pill stuff, and a lot of that Barbie monologue was just wishing reality didn't exist. Wishing they didn't
what
have
I've noticed
to face
though
reality.
is you got those plugged in guys that subscribe to the lies that media, mainstream, government, school, Hollywood, everything that's sold to them. Then you got the guys that are like, okay, like we'll call them the red pill guys, right? That see the stuff. And then out of the percentage of guys that see the stuff and they understand it, let me ask you this question: what percentage of those guys actually do something different with their life and improve their lives and actually level themselves up?
1%. Join the top 1%, guys.
Barely even that. Barely even that, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think if there were more good leaders, if more men were actually the leader of their own household and led the women in their lives, the women in their lives would feel a lot more comfortable because someone's actually taken the helm and they don't have to freak out. They don't like being in positions of power typically. And so they feel uncomfortable. That's when things kind of go shaky and some of their less positive attributes take hold and they do the underhanded stuff. Like we were talking about the queen bee thing in the chat there. When women reach the top, they kind of get catty and play some of those games and stuff like that. But if more men were actually leaders in their own lives, then less of this imaginary BS that isn't actually happening would be taking hold, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's almost...
Are you, Rich, are you looking for like the Gordian knot type of solution?
What's a Gordian knot? Explain that.
It's like an old, I think it's a story, a tale. And there was this knot impossible to undo. And the person that there was a challenge where you had to untie this knot. And the person that finally solved the challenge just cut it in half. And the point is that some solutions are like you find a solution to a problem that solves everything in one swift move.
I could solve the world's problems in a few swift moves if people just follow proper instructions, but they never do. I mean, like you can barely get guys to do 25 push-ups. What's it called? The Gordian knot?
Yeah, Alexander the Great. It's a legend.
Edwardian not meaning Alexander the Great. Yeah, I'll look that up.
We used to have this in school.
Of course, it's a Greek legend, my friend.
Yeah. We used to have this in school where you had minimum physical what's this
requirements.
Yeah.
Those are fat kids had to go to special PE.
Yeah. No,
I'm
honestly,
sure they don't do that anymore.
Well, yeah,
like
this is every school, not just in Romania. It's every school in, at least until 10 years ago, had this.
We had presidential fitness standards, is what they called them in the 90s.
Well, have you guys ever seen those videos from like the 40s and 50s of kids doing PE class?
Yeah, swinging from the
I don't know if you guys have seen, here, let me grab one real quick. There's also videos online from like the 40s and 50s that explain how to be pretty. Did you ever see those ones?
Yep. How to be a pleasant wife, how to greet your men when you come home.
Yeah. Basically, conventional feminine, like ideals, right? Because that was when men would go to work and bring home the bacon and she would cook it up, sort of thing. But that social contract has changed, obviously.
Rich, that's kind of what I'm wondering about this Barbie movie too. If you notice, the woke mind virus has gone through and destroyed anything from our childhoods, any franchises. They nailed Star Wars. I used to like Power Rangers as a kid. They knocked that one out a few years ago, just completely after the franchise. And where I live, people are a little more on the conservative side. Here in the city, not so much, but as a whole in the country, it's still very Catholic and still a lot of those old school values. It's changing very quickly. But I noticed the same way in which a lot of the Mexican girls or Latin girls, even adults and like senoras, they like Disneyland. They always wear the little Mickey Mouse ears. They went nuts over Barbie. So I think it's one of those things where, okay, it scratched that itch for nostalgia from their childhood. They go to these things. There's a pink tax too. So they buy all the jackets and all of the makeup and the little Barbie hair streamers. Everyone was wearing pink here when that movie came out. And then they go there thinking that, okay, this is going to be nostalgic. And then they insert these subtle left-leaning messages in there to try to get in their head. I think there's more layers to it in terms of why it's so popular. But at surface level, your average feminine chick, she's like, oh, Barbie, cool. I used to play with Barbie when I was a girl. I'll go check it out because they don't make good movies anymore. And then they start getting them.
I just want to like put this up. I mean, this is like a minute-long clip. It's like a trailer of like a high school somewhere in, looks like Britain. It says British Pathé. I don't know what that is. But look at the speed and agility with which these teenage boys rip through this obstacle course and the physical condition that they're in, right? Like flying through this thing. There's no fat kid slowing anything down. They're all in good physical condition. I mean, their push-up form sucks. Not like it's horrible. But I mean, you could argue that you've got, good, strong, young, virtuous men. There's no, geeks or weirdos in this crowd. There's no purple hair. There's like nothing. It's conventionally strong match. Like, you guys have probably heard what China's doing. They're banning like anything that like makes men look like sissies. They're banning like anything that weakens the physical male. Anything like that. It's just crazy that, this is 1962, right? Like if you go to a high school gym class today, you won't see anything close to that. Not even close.
Well, like welcome to processed food and McDonald's and like no
anti-anxiety megs and big pharma and men are toxic.
Like 50 years ago, nobody was fat, right? Like it was just, you look at like photos from a mall from 50 years ago and everybody's just like they're not overweight and no purple hair. Like they're normal, right? Like I don't know. I don't get it. In certain places in the world, like I don't know, like you go to Nigeria or wherever, where people actually have to like work, where they have to like, walk and do stuff. Nobody's overweight there, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Check this out. So this is the other one that I referenced was the How to Be Pretty clip. So this is the 1940s guide for high school girls. Actually, here, I don't think I shared the audio.
Yeah, they used to do home ec.
Oh, dude, this is beyond home ec. I mean, yeah, they used to do home ec, but yeah. Just let me know if you can hear this when I play this.
I'm going to talk this morning about the way you look. Now, I've heard it said that we women attach too much importance to our appearance.
Can you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That isn't true.
Okay. First of all, take a look at the audience of women. No,
Zero tattoos.
zero tattoos, zero weird piercings, zero like bad haircuts with like purple green, none of that stuff, right? Like just conventional feminine gals, right?
Well, the way we look exerts so much influence on the way we feel and on the way other people feel about us that it really is very important. When I talk about good appearance or good grooming or looking your best, you probably think immediately of clothes or hairstyle or makeup. Well, I realize that those things are especially interesting to you, and they are important, and I am going to talk about it. But please remember that they are just really the trimming. Just like the icing on the cake. If the icing is very good, that's fine. But if the cake itself isn't good...
I don't know how they did their hair like that. It's like every chick in the 1940s had the exact same layered, rolled sort of thing going on.
You change this in the icing. So let's start with the cake and come back to the trimmings later. Basically, of course, good health and intelligent physical care are the foundations of all beauty. We all want...
So the foundations of feminine beauty, good health and self-care, right? Makes sense.
A lovely skin, shining eyes,
Lovely skin, shining eyes, right?
a beautiful smile, and loads of pep. But we can't have them except in a healthy, clean body. And I mean clean. Remember, you can't have good looks without soap and water. There's no substitute for the daily bath as a groundwork for glamour. Brilliant teeth need brushing. Gleaming hair means frequent and thorough shampooing. And keep that air of freshness by using a deodorant regularly. It's a shortcut to Social Security.
I mean, this is like probably when they use aluminum antiperspirant deodorant type of products, but check out the gals, sitting here in bed together in the same bedroom, probably like writing in their diaries or something about some guy listening, with a record player in the middle.
Everyone knows real women don't shave their armpits.
And I mean sleep, not just go to bed if that means sitting up writing letters or listening to music. I've seen lots of...
So back in these days, what kept girls up was writing letters and listening to music. Today it's screens, right?
sparkling eyes and good complexion sacrificed to swing records at bedtime. Mind you, I'm all for music in its place, but there is a lot of sound sense in that old expression, beauty sleep. So snap out that light early enough every night to get 8 or 9 hours of this most effective beauty treatment. And then there's this business of eating. It worries me to see that so many girls think a balanced diet consists of soda pop and a sandwich or a big gooey sundae. Let's remember what we were taught in home economics about a well-balanced diet. Meat, cheese, eggs or fish, milk, butter, bread, fresh fruits, especially citrus fruits, green and starchy vegetables in proper proportion, and of course some sweets.
I mean, it's pretty reasonable. It's probably not the best diet, but then again, people moved more and ate better back then anyway.
But please go easy.
No high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, we didn't have like
Well,
sugar-laden
natural.
crap and preservative-laden crap and seed oils and everything.
Beautiful skin, vitality, glossy hair, all the things you want begin with a balanced diet. So watch it, girls. It pays big dividends. Then there's exercise.
It's awesome.
Preferably outdoors. And when I say exercise, many of you may think of work. Well, a little work is a helpful beauty hint, but so is outdoor play. I'll leave it to your own conscience.
Like they're all attractive. They're all they're not 10s, but they're all genuinely, positively, mostly very attractive, right?
Whether you work in the garden, ride a bike, play ball, hike, swim, or ski.
They're playful. They're sweet.
But try to spend some time every day outdoors, developing the grace that comes from toned up muscles and the complexion that goes with good circulation. And even the ordinary things that you do every day can help to make you more graceful. But not if you do them
Not the most graceful way to climb stairs, but still, use the stairs, right?
like this. Walking upstairs, reaching up to a high shelf, dusting, all can be good body conditioning if you use your muscles to do them vigorously instead of slouching through.
I guess that's the example.
There she
of the way
goes.
to ascend, to rip it up there.
I'd like to speak to you, please, Miss Stuyvesant.
Oh, go right ahead. I want you girls to ask me questions.
Well, I guess I have what you call the round face. And I wear my hair the way you said I shouldn't. But I don't see how things like that and posture and mannerisms and the other things will make a girl more popular if she's not pretty to begin with.
Sometimes I like to shake you girls when you worry so much about being pretty or not being pretty. If those
I want to shake you girls.
Well
Only
spoken.
attract-
There's one that's overlooked.
If you spend just 1 month doing everything I talked about to make the most of your appearance, You wouldn't need to worry about being pretty or popular. I wish that I could wave a magic wand to show you what the difference would be.
I mean, I think this is the girl that was objectively saying that she's not naturally pretty. But I mean, if you compare her to the average girl today, I think people in the comments would have a much different opinion. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up there as a bit of a follow-up.
The big no, she's mid. She's mid.
She's mid.
But being fit and pleasant in general, I believe that adds a lot of attraction points, especially in the modern day where there's not really a lot of competition. I say this to my guys all the time, like, guys, just get in shape and kind of have an idea of who you are and how you need to show up in the world, and you have no competition. The same thing goes for women. A lot of women that I know personally, we talk about these types of things. A lot of women are actually more red pill than you give them credit for. In fact, I'd say more so than guys, because they know these games. They know how the dating market works because they're pursued by men so often. And a lot of them, I make the point that this woke mind virus, it seeks to destroy femininity too and take away the feminine power, which a lot of women don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Solid point. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.